Welcome in, everybody, to your only source for Laker sports. It's Laker Connections right here on WTOP10. I'm Zach Malamud.
And I'm Ryan Joyce. Zach, today starts Masters weekend, but for the next 30 minutes, I guess we can focus on Oswego sports.
Yeah, definitely. We also had a nice week off last week, Ryan, but we missed a fair amount of spring action. Let's get some knowledge back in the Laker recap. Ryan, start us off here.
We're back here, guys. Well, the heat is rising in Oswego, and the men's lacrosse team is feeling the same way, as they have won 7 straight after losing the first 3 games of the season. The Lakers got their last 2 wins in a huge fashion with 2 straight double-digit goal scoring, starting with a 12-8 win over New Paltz Saturday and a 14-4 win over Keuka on Wednesday. Zach, undefeated in the conference and 6-1 record at home is certainly a place that makes Coach Andrew Daly very happy.
Yeah, you said it, Ryan. This team is absolutely rolling right now. I mean, the New Paltz game got close, but they have so many goal scorers. It's not too much of a problem for them that they know they can rely on those goal scorers, and it's big time for them in the end. I would say what a week for Corey O'Connor. He had 8 goals in 2 games for the Lakers. And like I said, so many options. That's great to see if you're the Lakers and head coach Andrew Daly. We talked about it with him a couple weeks ago. There's no one guy above the others. It's just so many goal scorers and everybody stepping up. I mean, it's a team game in lacrosse, and if the Lakers get that many goal scorers, it's a huge sign heading into this point of the season.
You know, I think when we went back and interviewed Coach Daly, he was really talking about that group of sophomores now this year that really took a step up. They have a couple seniors here on this team for Oswego, but both games, it was kind of that first game against New Paltz was a game of swings. It was really, Oswego got off to a big start, 5-1 lead, then 5 unanswered there from New Paltz, but they finally figured it out, and they outshot New Paltz by 23, and 3 goals for Hayden Coney, 2 there as well. Zach, he had that game winner in overtime, big win for Oswego to keep his streak going, 3 goals in that game, and then the Keuka game overall, too. Really great offensively, 14 goals overall, a lot of different players on this team contributing. It's huge.
Yeah, 100%. All the goal scorers, big time for Oswego. The Oswego women's lacrosse team have cruised through conference play to start this season, and they added to their run in a 20-4 trouncing over the Fredonia Blue Devils. Isabella Lembo was once again a massive story for the Lakers with a team-high 8 goals in this one, 6 of them coming in the second half. Just dominant from start to finish here, Ryan.
Dominant week here for Oswego. We kind of mentioned they have that big 4, Julia Quirk, Madison Davis, Sela Wiley, and Bella Lembo. Really huge for this team, and they won a week. They lost to Brockport last week, had to wait a week to get a win against this team here, and 8 goals for Lembo in this game, 143 in her career, 41 this season. Going to make her way up definitely on the record books here for Oswego. But what was key for this Oswego team, in free position shots, 5 for 6 compared to 1 for 2 for Fredonia. So they got a lot of goals from that free position spot, which is huge there in lacrosse. Make those opportunities when you can happen with the penalties. And overall, I think it's huge for Oswego. They've caused a lot more turnovers this year than they have, turned the ball over themselves. So if you're playing really good defensively and you have a really good offensive team, but you got to turn it all together, because I think this team right now, they're in a pretty good spot. But I think they could be a lot better with the talent they have, and this game certainly showed after a week was really good for this team.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a great performance by Oswego here. I mentioned it, Isabella Lembo, she does it again. 8 goals in this one. You mentioned all the stats, her career. She is rolling through her senior year right now. I mean, this season especially, it's going to be decided based on how they play against those SUNYAC powerhouses. Games like this, you can't take for granted, though, and they definitely are just rolling through these teams at the lower part of the SUNYAC conference. That helps your confidence get some goals on the board heading into those bigger games.
And I think we'll see mid-season can they make that switch to be a really good top team there in the SUNYAC. Well, Zach, there's something about Oswego teams on a roll, as the Oswego baseball team remains undefeated in the month of April after another 2 wins versus St. John Fisher Tuesday afternoon. Zach, 30 hits in 2 games is pretty impressive from this Oswego baseball team.
Yeah, this team is red hot right now. If they're putting up 20 runs in a game, nobody, and I mean nobody, is keeping up with them as we look at the first game, game 1, from that 2-game series, that 2-game doubleheader against St. John Fisher, 20-14. I mean, you put up 20 runs, nobody's catching you. On 20 hits to 15 hits for St. John Fisher. Yes, even on the left on base category, but then in the second game, 11-1, they just stormed through the Cardinals there. So, I mean, for Oswego, it's always going to come down to really their hitting, and they've relied on their hitting to get them wins. That's been the full story of this kind of winning run for them, and I think that's huge heading into postseason type play. They need to keep relying on those bats.
Huge game here for Oswego. Last year they played a doubleheader against this St. John Fisher team, and St. John Fisher blew them out there, Zach. A big win for Oswego. 31 runs in 2 games is huge for his team overall. I mean, 8 RBIs on the day for Johnny Hammer, kind of that number 2, 3 guy here for the Oswego team. Had 2 home runs, too, in this game as well, which he's not a home run hitting team, but 54 stolen base on the season, huge, because Oswego gets in the position to score runs, and they do it really well and get big wins against St. John Fisher.
100%. Well, Ryan, one team that did have a busy week was the Oswego State softball team with 6 games in 4 days. However, it wasn't a weekend to remember for Oswego with doubleheader losses on Friday and Saturday against New Paltz and Oneonta. The Lakers went 1 out of 2 on Tuesday, though, when they traveled up to Potsdam to take on Clarkson.
Yeah, maybe not the week Oswego softball really wanted in this game. They 1 for 6 in that stretch overall. Looking at the stats here, 37 runs from the opposing team, 52 hits from the opposing team, only 13 runs here for the Oswego team. Really struggling offensively overall. And I think what I've seen most from this team is they get off to a bad start. It's very much, I go back to the Oneonta game too, where it was in that doubleheader, 4 innings, 11 runs in 4 innings, 13 hits, 3 errors. At that point, you really can't come back from that, even if you are hitting really good offensively. But I think there was a positive in this too as well. Fiona Higgins did have a game, 13 strikeouts, 3 hits through 7 innings. It's just not consistent enough here for the Oswego softball team. And on the year, opponents are hitting .311 against Oswego, which is really good. But also, a lot of the runs are coming from just unforced errors where they just can't get out of this inning for a softball team. And pitching's been pretty good, Higgins and Grasso, but they're going to have to step up offensively if they want to get some wins here and make a playoff run.
Yeah, definitely. I think you said it all comes down to consistency right now for the Lakers, and that's what they're lacking at this point in the season on offense. They need to take advantage of runners on base, and on defense, it's just about that consistent pitching. It really has not been a great year for the starting pitching of the Lakers. If they solve these 2 things, I think it's crucial to turning things around.
That's all for this week's Laker recap. After the break, we teleport to the future to figure out what happens for these teams in the week ahead. Stay tuned. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
Would you like to try snacks from faraway lands? Or snacks with bizarre flavors? How about snacks in new ways? Or snacks you've never tried before? You don't have to go far to find these snacks. They can all be found here at Snacks on West 1st Street.
Yeah, we're walking around campus, and what do we see? All these clubs are looking.
They looking for me.
There's hockey,
There's improv,
so much to see. So let's go try them out and see how they be. Come on and please watch.
Our embarrassments free.
Tune in to Amateurs on WTOP.
Happy Friday, Lakers, and another beautiful day here in Oswego, New York. I'm DJ Don Perone, and I'm happy that you're starting your weekend off right listening to WNYO 88.9 FM, the Laker Radio Network.
I said, darling, can you see? There's no room for us. There's no room. Now our lives are tainted. Promises keep slipping. And I always knew it wasn't you. It wasn't you. Now our lives are tainted. Promises keep slipping. And I always knew it wasn't you. It wasn't you.
Welcome back to Laker Connections on WTOP 10. Well, Zach, we talked about what went on in the past, but with about a month left in these team seasons, let's find out what's happening in the week ahead. Zach, take it away.
Yeah, let's do it. We start with the women's lacrosse team who take the long drive down to take on the undefeated New Paltz Hawks on Saturday. The Hawks come into this one sitting at 12-0 with 3 of their 4 SUNYAC wins coming by double digits. Can the Lakers pull off the upset here, Ryan?
It's going to be a tough one to pull off the upset. I will say, though, New Paltz is looking for their first win against Oswego since 2015, so a very big step up here for New Paltz Hawks. 200 goals compared to 56 goals from the opponents on the year. Also out shooting teams 412 to 166, so really high-scoring team here overall. They cause a lot of turnovers, led by Caitlin Shaw, 57 goals on the year. She's won 5 Offensive Player of the Week in the SUNYAC, so I want to talk about a dominant player here in the SUNYAC. And I mentioned they're looking for their first win against Oswego in a long time, and you look at it here, Oswego is a really high-scoring team, but this New Paltz team, they are on the offensive attack, and they're also very good defensively, so we'll see here for Oswego if they can kind of be up top of the big dogs against New Paltz in this one.
Yeah, very good defensively, I think, is an understatement here, Ryan. 13.8 opponent shots per game. I mean, ridiculous numbers from New Paltz. I think it's all about offense in this game, though, if you're the Lakers. You have to challenge that defense. You know New Paltz is going to score. They got a great offense. It's just about if the Lakers can respond with the offense that they have, they can score goals. We see that each and every game. The Lakers can put up numbers. They need to challenge this New Paltz defense because they are red hot right now.
Going to have to be getting out the hot start here for the Oswego team. The men's lacrosse team finally hops on the bus after playing 6 straight at home and will head to North Country against the Plattsburgh Cardinals. Plattsburgh is a slumping team right now at the moment with 3 straight losses and an 0-2 conference record. Zach, this is a matchup that the Lakers can try to keep building momentum off of.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's about keeping that win streak going for the Lakers here, and they get a favorable matchup here against Plattsburgh. They're absolutely rolling right now. I think they just need to continue to rely on those goal scorers, and with how they've played recently, shouldn't be too much of a problem for them. You look at the thing here, I mean, Plattsburgh, not a great start to this season, 4-7, 0-2 in conference. The Lakers on that long win streak, 7-3 and 3-0 in conference. And what stands out is Plattsburgh allows more shots than they take on their own. So, I mean, the Lakers, with that 10-shot margin there on their side, just got to keep taking advantage of that. And with the goal scorers they have, should be a pretty straightforward game here.
Yeah, I think the key part in that graphic, Plattsburgh trying to get their first conference win of the year. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a big game. Even though you're playing the top of the SUNYAC team, Oswego, they want to get that big win. But I think what's hurt Plattsburgh so far this season is they're losing faceoffs 65% to 35%. So you're not really giving yourself a chance here to score offensively. And I think they have a really young team. They got a guy, John Eisman, 11 goals in the year so far. So an older team, but a lot of young players in there too as well. So they're going to have to figure it out against a really high-scoring Oswego team on a big roll. 7 in a row, Zach.
Yeah, definitely. Now to the diamond as Oswego State baseball continues their long homestand, but not on the shores of Lake Ontario. The 3-game series against Brockport will be held at OCC in Syracuse for a single game on Saturday, and then there will be a Sunday doubleheader held in Auburn, New York on Sunday. It's now 5 on the spin for the Lakers, Ryan, who are starting to feel real good at this time of year.
I mean, I started off, Zach. It's getting hotter outside in Oswego. They're playing a lot better baseball, but they're playing against a really good Brockport team, 14-7 on the year, 3-3 in the conference. They're the defending SUNYAC champs. They made it all the way to the NCAA regionals last year, and they bring back senior Zach Eldred, .315 batting average, one of the top guys in the lineup here for this Brockport team. And I think what's interesting, Brockport's undefeated at home on the season. They're undefeated at home, really good as a home team. It's going to be interesting. Key part of that reader there, Zach, they're playing 2 neutral games. They're playing at OCC in Syracuse, Onondaga Community College, and they're playing in Auburn, New York, too, as well. So for both teams, you don't really have the home, field advantage, even though Oswego is closer, but it's going to be interesting to see. And for Brockport, batting .287 as a team, have a really good pitching staff. Justin Delvecchio, 3.38 ERA, and Matt McGowan. So they have 2 guys that are good at 1 and 2 there on the spot, so we'll see how they do against this team.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. What stands out here is the pitching for Brockport. I think if Oswego can put up runs here, it's definitely going to be the difference in this game. 3.75 team ERA. I mean, that pitching staff has been immaculate for Brockport. Should be a real tough game for Oswego.
And we'll see here, Zach, if the runs can keep going here for this Oswego team. The Oswego softball team returned back home for 4 games on Sunday and Monday against SUNY Geneseo and SUNY Brockport. Both teams the Lakers are facing are middle-of-the-pack SUNYAC teams, and the softball team is looking to change the season around and finally get some wins at their home field.
Yeah, definitely, Ryan. And 2 games or 4 games now in these 2 doubleheaders that the Lakers could probably win. I mean, they could get some good wins here against 2 teams that kind of have been struggling. Geneseo, of course, non-conference, they were woeful, and then now 4-0 in conference play, so they're definitely feeling good. I would say for the Brockport game, that 6.51 ERA stands out to me. They're 0-2 in conference, 6-14 on the year. the Lakers can take advantage. It all comes down to, like I said, those runners on base. They leave a lot of runners on base. They did that in the 3 games over the weekend. If they solve that, it's going to be huge for the Lakers, and they could grab a couple wins here, definitely, Ryan.
I think it's pretty favorable here for Oswego. I mean, the only thing is Geneseo is 23-2 all-time against the Lakers, but it's a brand new season here for this team. Geneseo, middle of the pack scoring team we're looking at there. Both teams, Brockport and Geneseo, pretty similar batting average-wise. Not very good pitching teams, too, as well. And for Brockport, they're allowing teams at 320 on the year. So Oswego, not a very good batting average team. They're around, I believe, 292 on the year. So we'll see how they do. Brockport, first year with a new coach, new team. 2 wins, hopefully, here for Oswego. They want to keep going, make that run for the playoffs, middle of the season.
Definitely. After the break, we'll bring out Matt Sharamita and have some fun. You won't want to miss it. This is Laker Connections on WTOP 10.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
And welcome back to Laker Connections. I'm Matt Shermead. I'm a little early to the party tonight. I know you guys usually bring on a guest tonight. You guys ask some questions, so we're gonna kind of flip the script. I'm gonna ask you guys some questions tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Went around, had the crew members all write down a question.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go right in order, rapid fire.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Get through as many as we can. First one's from Lucas McGarry, who's AP in tonight. He asks, who is the best UFC fighter of all time?
Best UFC fighter all time, I would say George St. Pierre. I'm a big GSP guy.
Is John Jones UFC?
Yes.
John Jones. I'll go John Jones is my pick.
GSP, John Jones. Next question, this one coming from Benny D.
Who?
Benny
D.
Never met
Ben
him.
Diamond.
The director?
Director.
Oh, yeah.
Never met her.
Pancakes or waffles?
Oh, gotta be waffles. I mean, you can put so much more on waffles and so much customize it a lot better. Gotta be waffles. Easy pick.
Interesting. I'm more of a pancake guy than a waffle guy.
Okay.
More of a pancake guy. I'm gonna go with pancakes.
Okay.
I'm not.
It's like the taste. I don't know.
Not going
I don't
either. I'm
dislike
going French
pancakes.
toast.
Oh wait, no.
She's going
Okay.
C. Answer C.
We'll
Okay.
say
French
answer
toast.
C.
This one coming from Hunter Raymaniak. I think I pronounced his last name right. Who is your early pick for AL and NL Cy Young?
Ooh. AL Cy Young. I was gonna go Marcus Stroman. I can't do Marcus Stroman anymore.
Marcus Stroman.
I think I'm still gonna go with who do I like in the NL? That's an interesting question.
I go?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Corbin Burns is going to be the
okay,
AL
there you go.
one. NL, that's a tough one. There's a lot of them there. Spencer Strider. I'll keep it simple.
Why am I blanking on the guy in Seattle for
Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo for the AL?
You got
And Spencer Strider's
you got the
out
guy
for the
with
year.
Spencer Strider's out for the
year.
season. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's all right.
He's got it. He's got it.
Next question.
We don't have enough time, yeah.
Chris DeLuca, wow. He goes into the hockey bag a little bit.
Okay.
Who's winning the Frozen 4 championship?
Who's in the Frozen 4 championship?
Well, considering I don't really know who's in the Frozen 4.
Who's in the Frozen 4 championship?
Is Boston College in there? I have a buddy.
Boston
I grew up
University's
playing
in there,
baseball
yeah.
from Boston College. So I'm gonna go Boston College. Shout out
Boston
Eamon
College.
Powell.
They're in the Frozen
Eamon
4.
Powell, Syracuse guy.
Is Denver in there?
I think so.
Denver? In
We
there?
didn't watch the
Oh, I'm going
There you go.
Denver. Hell
Wow.
yeah! Thank you, Lucas.
We didn't watch the Kyle and Kenny show to get the Frozen 4 predictions.
There
so
you
that's
go.
why
We're going-
I don't know that.
We'll come back to your wheelhouse a little bit.
Go ahead.
NBA championship. Who's winning that one?
Nuggets. They're the best team. I know that the Celtics are great, but
Yeah,
I'm going the Nuggets.
I still like the Celtics, even though the Knicks did have a good game against them tonight. I'm still gonna go Celtics. I think they're pretty deep in terms of their talent.
Yep. Sticking with basketball, who's the GOAT? MJ or Bron?
Oh, you cannot even start with me. It is
Zach's going. I'm not on
1,000%
camera.
Michael Jordan. Anybody who tells me LeBron, I don't know what you're talking about. 6 for 6 in the finals, never got to a game 7. End of story. Thank you very much.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. LeBron James is my GOAT. Longevity,
Terrible.
can't beat it. 40 years old, still
Awful.
doing what he's doing. LeBron James.
Nope.
I think we got time for one more here. Comes
Okay.
from our graphics op, Patsy McFeely. She asked, what is your favorite onomatopoeia?
What kind of question is that?
It's like a
Boom.
boom. Good onomatopoeia.
I have no idea.
Really?
No clue.
Really? A sound effect. A clap.
I like the sound of the chalkbord. How about that?
I think
That's
you
like a
guys.
scratching.
Who knows? I don't know.
I think your roommate. I think I know what he would say, and he would say, bang.
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 Bang!
Bang!
That's gonna do it for this segment of Laker Connections. But don't go anywhere. We will be right back with a chaotic Laker showdown coming up on WTOP 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up with that one.
Broadcast
Look
news.
at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Up like throwing, not able to get on it. DeCarlo on the rebound. Alex DeCarlo.
Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
Welcome back to Laker Connections. I'm your moderator, Matt Sharamita, and it's now time for everyone's favorite segment, Laker Showdown. How we feeling, guys? We
I'm ready to go, you guys.
All right, we got more questions. I'm going to pepper them all with pretty soon. We're going to go through the rules, though, easy like Sunday morning. These two Commodores are going to debate some sports topics and try to please me with their answers. Scores played, best of 3 as always. Starting off, have you guys ever seen glass that's like wet but hasn't been squeegeed? That's kind of
it's pretty annoying.
It's kind of like this men's lax team right now, very streaky. I don't think it's annoying that the men's lax team is doing good. 7 straight wins for this men's lacrosse team. Fellas, what do they have to focus on if they want to keep this win streak alive? Ryan, we'll start with you today.
I think it's got to be goaltending. I think for this team, we've been talking about it, especially today, really good scoring team. They got a lot of, younger guys that have been really high in the scoring level, a really well-distributed team. But it's really the goaltending. I mean, last year, You know, you lose your senior goaltender. You're bringing a guy, Seamus Hand, you know, wasn't really great in the early of the season and let a lot of goals, hit a couple games with multiple, you know, 10-plus goals allowed. He's really come into his own. And if you allow a team, you know, coming up here, a lot of high-scoring teams they have to play, if you allow them to just kind of keep it low and play really good, defensively helping out with them too as well, I think it's be huge, especially a sophomore goaltender. You get confidence from him, you got to have confidence in your entire team.
Yeah, I mean, Seamus Hand's been a beast, but I think it comes down to that goal scoring that we talked about the entire episode today. It was, I mean, just going every single guy. You have 4, 5, 6 guys that you rely on to put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, when you have that on a championship-type team, that's huge because you don't have to rely on the opposing defense locking in on those guys. You got option after option. I think that's big for the Lakers, even though defensively, you can't win if you don't score goals, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, I would think for an offensive team, if you're playing really good defensively, getting a lot of stops in the goaltender, you're not going to have to do as much offensively and kind of give yourself and guys a break, especially the top guys in the offensive team.
I feel like I have to agree. I'm going to go with the goaltender.
Okay.
All right. That's it. The first question. We're going to move on, though, because there's some teams that are streaky hot, others not so much. This softball team, they continue to struggle as they are winless against conference opponents. With the bulk of the season ahead of them, though, how do the Lady Lakers turn things around to avoid that dreadful playoff elimination? Zach will come to you with this one.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing I said the entire episode, and it was hit with runners on base. I mean, a lot of runners left on base. I think it was 30 in those 6 games over this past week. I mean, you cannot win if you don't take advantage of the runners in scoring position, runners on base. That's where most of your runs should come from. I mean, they're not a high-powered offense. They're not expecting their players to hit a lot of home runs. It comes with those small ball type plays. And with that comes with just end up getting singles, doubles, moving runners around. You got to take advantage of runners on base.
Yeah, I'm going to flip it around. I think it has to be pitching. This team's been well established. They have a really good #1 pitcher, Fiona Higgins. But I think you got to get some more from that bullpen piece, and you got to get it from a couple players on the team too as well. Grasso's been pretty good so far this year, about a 5 ERA. But you got to get something from Maria Lutz too as well. You got to get those back-of-the-end starters to help out here for this Oswego team because Fiona Higgins is kind of been the workhorse here for this team. But you got to get more from that because you got to help your team, you know, not let them come up to bat at the bottom of the inning if they're home, and not have to score as many runs, you know, build off the amount of runs they gave up in that first inning.
You can't rely on all those teams or all those pitchers to hold on to games for you. You need to score runs.
But I think pitching and defensive-wise, you have to put your team in a good spot so they're not scoring. They don't have to come back from a huge deficit, I would say.
Joyce, I know you've been watching the Masters a lot. I know that it's been a while. You do know the score is most points.
The most points.
Yeah.
You have to get the most points to win Lakers Showdown.
Score more than the opponent.
Yeah.
I'm going with Zach.
That's a weird concept, but I'll agree with it. Yeah, sure.
Been watching a lot of golf today, Brian. Something pretty cool happened on Monday, though. I don't know if you guys heard, but you know we had a total solar eclipse here in Oswego. Zach still got his glasses on.
I saw it.
They're imaginary.
You saw it? You were in the bathroom when people were clapping anyway.
I was.
There's thousands of people here gathered in Oswego to witness this natural beauty, but I want to know, what is the most impressive natural wonder that one can see? Come to you.
All right, I'm going to keep this quick. It is a tsunami. I think a tsunami, there's just something about waves going that high in the air that you're like looking up towards you. You're like, what in the world? Yes, there's a lot of things, tornadoes and all of that stuff. I think tsunami, because it's water, I'm like, I don't know. Looking up at it, I think it's a cool one.
So I was in the bathroom for the eclipse, but I was not in the bathroom. I saw the Grand Canyon. And Zach, you know I went to Phoenix, Arizona one time? I saw the Grand Canyon.
I've been there too.
Grand Canyon, a really cool spot. I mean, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go out there and see that. A lot of different things to see, a lot of cool different things in the Grand Canyon. So it was awesome.
Yeah, tsunamis are real cool until it floods an entire city. Yeah. I'm going with the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon. Shout out Phoenix, Arizona.
Right? That's 2 wins in a row for you, right?
It is, yeah.
Wow.
My legs hurt.
It's about time.
That was a hike.
It's about time you got some 2 wins.
Yeah. It's nice to get a win,
Yeah,
we'll
there
take
you
it.
go.
But that'll do it for this episode of Laker Connections. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Laker Connections on WTOP 10. Oh, I got close.